That's forever, ever, ever, ever. Should have realized this is goodbye. Dead or alive, I know.
Welcome back to Dead or Alive, pew, 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 pew. Season 2. If you did not watch season 1, Dead or Alive is a show where we bring on different creatives and we ask them 3 people that they would meet, dead or alive, and why they would meet them. Today we have a guest who is an amazing writer and a dancer, just an artist in general. His poems have been featured on Arabia Mountain Trail. If you walk the trail, you will see them. The writing editor of Wussy magazine, and they have a book of poems coming out. It's called Black Swim that are available for pre-order. It's Nick Goodley. Woo! Clap, clap, clap. First of all, let's talk about these gloves right now.
Oh, this was on. I had a full body bodysuit that was these.
Yeah?
And I didn't want to take it to Tallahassee, so I cut off the sleeves and just kept the sleeves.
Oh my God. Tallahassee. Why are you moving? I mean, I know why you're moving, but I'm really sad about it.
It's okay. I love Atlanta. This is the personal camera. I love Atlanta. Atlanta, I love you. But it's when opportunity comes up, you got to follow.
Absolutely.
Where you're supposed to go. Your journey's your journey.
Yeah.
And people who love you will support you no matter where you are. So
I know that's right.
It's all good.
Okay, so first and foremost, I don't think I ever knew that you danced until I went. I knew you wrote poems, obviously. I knew you were a writer, but I didn't know until I went to a show that you were dancing in, that you danced. And this was years ago, though.
Okay.
Obviously I know now. So how did you get into, dancing?
So I actually danced since that was my first love.
Oh, really?
So I've been dancing since kindergarten. Whittle baby doing jazz moves.
Little baby. Yeah, no, that's right.
Then I danced for a long time. I had a professional career doing contemporary ballet kind of stuff. Midway through college, I had a reason I needed to leave dance and leave it behind, some health things, and that was when I found poetry. So I was already taking poetry classes, and I was like, I could take this seriously, and this could be my art form. Took that risk. I guess I always liked language, but that was when I was like, there's a way to do this and still be an artist. So I just like figuring out different ways of expression. And then now I like to try to combine them and do video work and all these different things. So poetry came second, actually.
Yeah. To dancing?
Yeah. At that time.
Okay.
And now it's just both. Now it's just bouncing back and forth. And I'm going to school for poetry, but I'm thinking already how am I going to incorporate
That's what I was gonna ask
my little movement into this? It'll happen. It'll just appear.
Yeah.
It'll just make itself known. I was talking to my friend the other day about, I was thinking I don't really specialize in just poetry. I'm going to this space where it's just reading poems for 4 years, just focused on this one art form. And I was like, I never got the chance to just only do one thing. And I like these different forms of expression. I like dressing, styling, I like dance, I like poetry. And I was like, well, what is my art? What is the thing I do? And then I realized if I consider myself my own work of art, then I could do whatever. And then every move I make, even when I'm not even creating art, it's just expressing myself.
Exactly.
And your body, and your soul is just expressing itself. It's just finding new avenues of expressing yourself every time every day is just a chance to be a body expressing itself, a soul trying to make sense of itself.
This is whoa.
It makes you really okay with the times where you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
You're and that's what the soul wants to express right now. It's just allowing yourself to do what you want to do.
Right. Is that how you kind of got into fashion? Because you're one of my favorite fashion icons. Let's talk about it. You gave me some clothes that
I did.
I don't have anything else.
It's
obviously,
not.
But
yeah, you really love it, don't you?
Me and Bo were fighting over a jacket. Let's talk about
right.
it. No, I'm just kidding. But how'd you get into fashion? I know Corey, y'all's cousin, does fashion stuff, but
yeah, he's a stylist. I think it extends from, so we had to wear uniforms from kindergarten through 12th grade.
Oof.
But since I was little, I would get home and always like put on costumes immediately. I would love to be like superheroes or a ninja. I was a ninja way too often, or like a wizard. And I'd be like a Power Ranger going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And didn't see any. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear.
Maybe I'm a Power Ranger.
I'm a Power Ranger today. I think I started using clothes as a way to feel my own power. And like, if I didn't feel it, you could dress it.
Yeah.
So I like, when I'm getting dressed, I put on like my music that makes me feel the most confident and try to dress like how I want to feel for that day. And then once you step out the door, you're in those clothes, and then you have to match that energy.
Absolutely.
So I used to get anxiety and all these things. And I was like, well, you're dressing like a badass, so you need to like also be a badass. And so it just helped me have an entry point into another just lane of expression.
Yeah.
And not everybody has to style themselves, but just think of it as an opportunity of like, who do you want to be that day? You could change who you are every day.
You could literally.
No one knows who you are. You like go through the door and you could be someone else every day.
Damn.
You could tomorrow do a completely different thing.
You like a beauty queen.
That's true.
And I love it.
I love me.
Everyone
should love themselves.
I'm ready.
So there was a moment where I misunderstood the assignment.
Oh
and
my gosh.
It's fine. I picked 3 people. Here's the thing. I want 3 people at this dinner together. I thought they were just meeting me. My new priority.
You want to meet dead or alive, yeah.
I don't have to be at this dinner table. I want these 3 people to meet because they each would appreciate what each other has done through time.
I like this.
If they're sitting at a dinner, this person's the one like giving the I don't want to say the waiter, but like is the one giving them the food.
Wait, what? They're the staff?
This is my way of bringing a 4th person in. They are just around making sure everyone's okay. They're the host.
He just said this person is
there
the help.
We go. They are not the help. They are the host of this party.
I don't know why would they be bringing
have
you
a
dinner.
seat. That's what a good host does. So here's the first, my honorable mention, who I love very much, Janelle Monáe. With the rest of these people at the table, she is a pioneer as far as Black femme people who have broken a boundary as far as representation for sci-fi. Mm-hmm. Black people seeing themselves in Afrofuturism, in this music way, in this very popular mainstream way. I remember being a kid and hearing Janelle's music and picturing this Black character going through feelings of like, first of all, that their character was a cyborg. At the time, you used to be able to go on Wikipedia and it would say Janelle Monáe, singer, actress, superhero. And I was like, work. Okay, that's really cool. Right. But just the idea of someone being this sci-fi character, this representation for nerds to see ourselves in this really cool way, and then also have this really pro-Black agenda.
Yes.
And dancing their ass off, performing like Michael Jackson level.
So good. And
then have all these other layers within it. Is a writer now, is incorporating all these other kinds of art forms. No one's really doing it like that, I don't think.
No, not one person I can think of is doing what Janelle Monáe is doing right now. Like that.
And the book that they wrote isn't just them. Like they put on all these other people. Every chapter's co-written with another Black author.
That's so, like,
it's like a Black either femme or like non-binary person. And just like, that's such a beautiful idea. So that the end project isn't just Janelle Monáe. It's like, this is what our culture can produce. And that's really cool.
Queen.
It's like Janelle's always thinking about the future.
Yes.
Our future.
Literally.
And I mean, so Janelle is the host of this party. Everyone else at this dinner party will be excited to see Janelle because they put some building blocks in place.
Okay. I like this idea now.
Okay. Were you a little hesitant?
Before I was like, what are we talking about?
I've been planning this for years.
I know. I think we've been talking about this since like a year and a half, and I'm like, hey guys, I got this idea.
Oh, immediately.
And you're like, come on.
Yeah. Anyway. So here we go. First up is Bessie Smith, Empress of the Blues, 1920s, 1930s singer. You talk about somebody singing like their whole body is portraying it, whether it's like sadness or sexiness.
Yeah.
This was like the person who did it. And Bessie Smith's story. Bessie Smith, parents died when she was young, and her brother used to like perform on the corner, just like trying to make enough money, like dirt poor, but just was an incredible singer who had all this pain behind what they were doing, and just ended up being one of the greatest singers of that generation, 20s, 30s, and at one point was the highest paid performer, period. Like, so going from like performing on streets,
to being
dead parents,
that girl,
to being the one. And then the Depression happened.
Oh gosh.
Thanks, Obama. But the themes that Bessie Smith was singing about, so singing about sadness, like blues themes, like getting drunk, having no friends, or friends only like you when you're rich, stuff like that. But also like just really horny, like Megan Thee Stallion level stuff, like, but in the 20s and 30s.
That's so iconic.
It's iconic. And then to be like so well regarded just because you're so talented that like who's gonna say anything?
Like, why would you stop me?
Why would you stop me?
Because you can't.
You literally can't. You can't touch me. And was bisexual. So singing had some bisexual vibes in there. Representation in the 20s and 30s, y'all.
That's crazy.
Like, that's pretty cool.
The 20s? What were they even doing in that?
Trying to get in the bread line.
Like I don't want to talk to you or ask you because I know we're just gonna be laughing.
They were listening to Bessie Smith in line for bread on their Walkmans.
All
I
right,
think.
next person. We're not
on their Walkmans. I think.
We're not talking about
I
this.
think they
We're
had
not
their little
talking about
boombox.
this. All right, next.
Eartha Kitt is next.
Ooh, I'm
Eartha Kitt.
very much so with this.
Catwoman. Let's start there. A black woman as a villain who is just being like
sultry.
Yeah, sultry doesn't even just was sexy. But how about sexy but like regal?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you wouldn't dare talk about Eartha Kitt.
No, absolutely not. Like,
I feel like she would look at you and you would be like, I should apologize, I think.
I never said that.
It's like, yeah, I never said that.
I'm in the
You
wrong.
were invited, Ellen.
I'm done.
So, Eartha Kitt, so while she was being this amazing performer, also who had like a very like poor background, was like abused, and then to be this queen on top of that, like black women, y'all doing the damn thing consistently. Anyway, a lot of her free time was spent trying to help like inner city youth, like trying to help black people, giving a lot of her time and money to like that community. Lady Bird Johnson, Miss Thing, married to Lyndon B. Johnson, the president at the time.
Oh, I didn't even. Okay.
Didn't like Eartha Kitt because.
Oh, I did know this. Okay,
yeah, so Eartha Kitt had beef with. No, didn't really have beef.
But
Eartha Kitt was like, "Hey, you should probably be doing more," and Lady Bird was like, "Don't talk about my husband. You're blacklisted.
Don't talk about the president.
Don't talk about my
now
husband.
no one can hire you."
And so blacklisted this black lady for like trying to help her community and speaking up.
So crazy, bro.
She didn't even know what was happening. She just couldn't get hired in America for some reason, and then she went to Europe.
Damn, I forgot.
Shut the thing down. Like,
so
isn't that crazy? So she did great in Europe because she's effing Eartha Kitt, so it's gonna be fine. But sacrificed her career to like stand up for what she knew was right, and to go against the first lady.
But like, it's so crazy that at those times they literally were like taking that personal to be like,
that's the
you
thing.
are the like somebody right now can say some president and it's like, oh, okay.
I was thinking a black woman spoke up about a general issue. This white lady took it personally and acted out personally against the black lady. We've never seen that happen before.
Like,
that was the last time that happened.
I have nothing to say.
So yeah. Anyway, these patterns repeat themselves. But Eartha Kitt's strong black woman, sexy, confident. You hear interview clips of her just giving like words of wisdom to this day. No, she's not giving words of wisdom to this day.
Stop making me
Let me
laugh.
just clarify. It's important.
No, but
her recordings,
absolutely.
yeah, you could look at them at any time and find some little nuggets of knowledge.
Third person oh, yeah.
is another soul singer, another beautiful voice, another lyrics were poetry. Classically trained, could like do several instruments. She could have been like a concert pianist.
Yeah.
It's just talented as hell. And so she got canceled because
Why is everyone getting
everybody getting canceled because they're standing up
cancel
for something.
before cancel was a thing, even.
And the cancel was a bit different.
That was
they
a
were like,
real
you actually
cancel,
can't
like,
work again.
You actually
need to go to
be in
Europe.
this industry, babes.
They're like, here's a passport, take it to France.
That's so sad.
But Nina Simone was so inspiring. Everybody loved her, and then she started talking too black. She started like singing songs that were too black. She started like talking about the times. And they're like, can you just go to like the ballads or like sing sad songs about black people or something? Sing about love, please.
Sing about hurt, but don't put black people's names.
Don't make it black people in love.
Like,
don't show the full picture. I think it would be interesting if those three women who all sacrificed for what they believed in, artists say they do that, but like these were queens doing it on a level that were talented beyond belief and could have just been in a lane to be glorified forever and like been immortalized from that point, but took the risk to say, I have this, I'm right now on the biggest platform. I think I'm gonna like try to bring it back to the people. And that takes a lot of courage. There were a lot more consequences for that kind of thing.
Absolutely, especially then. Like right now, it's like you can say whatever and people are like, okay. But then
it was a wrap.
That was like, baby, your career is
And you have artists that think about, you've talked to artists that think about their image, think about like, well, I have to be careful about what I project.
That's
and I don't want to be too I don't want to be too this. Who are you? Just be who you are and do it well.
I feel like labels,
it's,
I won't say sue people, but they literally be like,
you just want to be yourself. Again, have your soul, express it every day as truthfully as you can, and then what can you regret? Like, what would you ever like not feel good about? You go to bed every day and be like, I was maybe not my best today, but I was my best self in this moment.
Right.
I mean, come on. So these people sacrificed all that fame, all these fame and money and stuff. That's nice, but like they went to bed being like, at least I did that.
That's so iconic. I love these. Wow. I don't know.
So now imagine Janelle hosting this. These three women are at this
Janelle
table.
Is that girl.
So like how nice they see. It's like they would see the future of what blackness is, a piece of what blackness can be. I love you too.
So what do you want to say before we close this out?
September 13th, I have my debut poetry collection coming out. It's called Black Swim through Copper Canyon Press. Check it out. I write about, I try to communicate feeling through language, complicated feeling, nuanced feeling. I'm interested in physicality and textures and rich imagery to deliver those small moments, something we haven't seen. A big part of what I'm doing is trying to share my black queer experience for me and then give it to people who may need it. I imagine my little self would be stoked to read these poems. So, little me, here you go. It's a gift.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Dead or Alive. Obviously, like, subscribe, all that.
It's like gonna be a really good season.
Purr. And
are you saying purr?
I'm done with Nick. We're done with this episode. I can't do it.